Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einem neuen Genshin Impact Video. Heute mit Dulciaria Structura und der offensichtlich den letzten Teil ihres Legendenauftrages Geschmückt mit Frost. Geht's zum Hotel de Bois und besuche Escoffier. Die Wahrheit hinter dem Sturm ist kaltherzig.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Van isn't for a while.
Ich wollte noch Escoffier sehen.
Check on her? Why? What happened?
Oh.
Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
Hast du das wirklich die ganze Nacht durchgemacht?
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Ich hole dir einen neuen.
Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Café Lutèce, but either way, hurry!
Ein Gericht mit Kaffeebohnen.
Coffee.
Oh, zum Glück habe ich zwei.
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
Wie läuft die Untersuchung?
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
Und im Zustand, die Nacht zu urteilen, musst du gestern Abend eine Menge Misserfolge gehabt haben.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hotel de Bois. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
Modeste, der Gründer des Hotels de Bois?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bois? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bois?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a Gâteau plateau, huh?
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on, there's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
Oh Gott. Ein vor mehreren Monaten erhaltener Brief. Du hast es Lumilin durchgelassen. Oder ich weiß, du hast für die Beschaffung der Zutaten verantwortlich warst, die an jenem Tag Probleme verursachten. Was würde deine Freundin denken, wenn sie wüsste, dass sie durch deine Nachlässigkeit leiden musste? Was würden die Leute im Restaurant denken? Also du willst wohl nicht, dass Escoffier Wind davon bekommt? Das wäre doch peinlich, oder, Küchenchefin Savannah? Ein vor wenigen Wochen erhaltener Brief. Hol den Kodex, kostet es, was es wolle. Der wahre Schatz befindet sich in diesem Original. Und du hast ihn leichtfertig verschenkt. Wie konntest du? Du wirst es zurückbekommen, ob mit einer Wette oder mit Gewalt, das spielt keine Rolle. Stimmt, ihr habt doch diesen Kochwettbewerb, nicht wahr? Wenn du zweifelst, dass du gewinnen kannst, lass einfach deine Gegnerin verlieren. Deine kleine Köchin kann dir dabei bestimmt behilflich sein. Ein vor kurzer Zeit erhaltener Brief. Warum trödest du noch? Sie behält das echte Rezept für sich. Warum wohl kannst du ihre Arbeit nicht reproduzieren, weil sie Angst hat, dass du sie in den Schatten stellst? Stell dir vor, wie die Leute hinter deinem Rücken über dich reden. Talentfreie Küchenkrücke, niemals wird sie Escoffier übertreffen. Und wem verdankst du all das? Ja, ihr Escoffier. Sie ist keine Heilige, war es nie, also wozu diese Zaghaftigkeit?
It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
Also hat Savannah Monika erpresst. Oder ist es eigentlich andersrum?
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Lol. Atlantis oder was?
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off!
Sieht so aus, als wären sie nicht an Menschen gewöhnt. Lass uns weitergehen.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile. See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There's no time for that. Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
Uff, schon wieder.
A little amuse-bouche.
Oh. No way.
A dash of frosting.
Hä? Das geht sich ja legit nicht aus. Na doch, jetzt. Verdammt nochmal.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Aber wichtiger noch, wie füttern wir sie eigentlich?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Hey, be careful! Scare them off too much and they might not come back again. Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Off to the freezer! The tracks turned back again. Oh, so
6. Oh.
Hey, it's open!
Hold up.
Take it easy.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad!
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Sieht so aus, als wäre sie im Chaos entkommen.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
Es gibt immerhin eine gute Nachricht. Zumindest ist Savannah vorerst in Sicherheit.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Nope.
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere. Probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Nice Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Er richtete das Trost für die eingebürgerten barbarischen Soldaten. Sie mögen Barbaren gewesen sein, aber sie waren auch Krieger. Oh. wieder
Another
hier.
door?
Nee.
Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Was? Das ergibt damit überhaupt keinen Sinn.
Up to the freezer!
Das geht sich wieder nicht aus. Ach Mann. Immer noch nicht, oder?
A little amuse-bouche! Ja! Ha! Yeah! It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers. A dash of frosting! Ha!
Das ist ja an für sich ganz cool, dieses Würzen, aber irgendwann reicht es dann auch mal. Man muss es jetzt nicht 100-mal machen. Wir haben verstanden, wie es funktioniert. Hä? Was soll das? Hä, wieso? Was soll das? Hä?
Things are about to get dicey.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
Take it easy. That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
So verwittert sehen sie auch nicht aus.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Lass uns hier mal herumstöbern.
Huh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Wenigstens bin ich ein Profi.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
Hab's schon gefunden.
Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gâteau de Bourg.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
Lass uns weiterlesen.
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, Why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
Damn.
And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh nein, wir müssen Monika so schnell wie möglich reinholen.
What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Monika.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine! It's empty. It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica? Don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarians shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else! Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out!
Why is this place still shaking?
Vielleicht liegt es an den Kämpfen.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
Savannah? Oh, when did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Wir müssen los, uns läuft die Zeit davon.
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venegem, what are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
We had to do something, even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left. and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmin? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
Du klingst schon viel selbstsicherer.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
Wie mein?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Ja, in der Tat.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Huh? But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between 2 top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today, right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Er scheint halt mit dem Ergebnis sehr zufrieden zu sein.
Oh yeah, trooper too, considering she lost.
Das war nicht für dich, oder? Das hast du für Savannah getan.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
Was hast du in Zukunft vor? Bleibst du am Fleuve Cendre?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course, but the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Ich bin immer bereit, ein neues Essen zu probieren.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Boer revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Boer?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Na, dann viel Glück für Savannah.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Boer. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Sie verkauft ihre Seele für einen Traum, nur um dann unsanft aufzuwachen.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Boer?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Sie hat genau das bekommen, was sie verdient hat.
Hey! Huh? Navia?
You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value.
It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Oh, baby. We did it. Geschmückt mit Frost. Ich sag danke euch fürs Zuschauen. Ja, kurzes Fazit zum Auftrag. Ja, das mit Modest war halt natürlich ein bisschen ätzend, dass das wieder so ein trauriges Ding ist. Und ja, Monika ist eine blöde Kuh. Savannah ist cool. Escoffier natürlich auch. Und ja, ich würde sagen, damit sehen wir uns dann hoffentlich im nächsten Genshin Impact Video wieder. Bis zum nächsten Mal, macht's gut, haut's rein und ciao, ciao.